Hey, what do you guys make of this back and forth? I mean, it starts with Danny. Comes out on Twitter and says that Conor McGregor brought 3 guys in, which adversely booted 3 guys out, which I would assume were Danny's guys. I mean, I have to assume that for Danny to do this. Conor came out and he said it's not true. And you know what? Conor came out instantly. He came out while he was filming shows. He's come out on a number of things being said about him by a number of people with a lot bigger voices, and he did nothing. He addressed this and he took Danny head on. But this might be where the technicality comes. When Danny came out and did this, Danny said it was 3 for 3. Conor brought in 3, which kicked 3. And then Danny even stated their 3 names. That's how well I remember it's 3. He stated their first and last name separated by commas. Conor said it's not true. Dana's come out. Dana might not have even known this argument was going on. Dana got asked about this by Pat McAfee. And Dana just answered the question like Dana does. And Dana said there's 2 guys Conor wanted. Now hear what I'm saying. Hear what I'm saying. When Danny said this happened and Conor said no, it didn't, there was 3. Okay, but that's 3 up and 3 down. That's a separation of 6. That's a big difference. You think I'm splitting hairs here? I might be, but it's a big difference. You got 3 and 3, total of 6. Versus what Dana says, which was 2. Now you got 2 and 2, a total of 4. I mean, your equation is a lot less. Your risk is a lot less, whatever your damage was. Right? You threw a grenade and it hit this many people, or you threw a grenade and hit this many people, right? I mean, if you're one of the people that didn't get hit, it's a big damn deal. Is that what Conor was disputing? Was it a technicality? Was it because they said 3? Was it a matter of Conor could do this, but he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do that much of it. And I'm just curious. I'm just curious. You know, this whole thing got cleared up, and it's a very peculiar thing for Conor to have denied, if you feel that Conor was being dishonest. Because a jury of your peers is going to say the way it happened is a hell of a lot more like Danny said than Conor said. That's what a jury of your peers is going to say, but you might not say that if you're in that situation. You'd want it to be real technical, and you would make a big fuss if it was 2 and a total of 4 as opposed to 3 and a total of 6. Yes, you would. And maybe that's what Conor was doing. And the part that I struggled with, there's a number of things I could compliment Conor for, but some of them are a guess by me. Some of them are a guess. Right? When Conor McGregor is broken in half and he can't stand, and Joe Rogan has to get down for an interview, and he's screaming at the opponent, setting up the next match, and he even brings his wife into it just to make it dirty and nasty for no reason other than to entertain till the ship went down. I loved it, but that's my interpretation of it. Some of you came to a different opinion, which is he showed who he really was and he's a jerk. I don't think so. I think you had an entertainer, regardless of situation, that gave the fans every single cent for every single second. That's what I think. Of all the things I could compliment Conor, my number 1 is his loyalty. I cannot tell you how many guys I have seen that came from a little quiet environment, made it on top, and then left. They left. They went somewhere else. I'm too big now. The contracts are too big now. The training's too big now. The stakes are too high now. I need somebody else. Somebody else has the answers. This coach has the answers because he's been through it. This trainer has the answers because he's been through it. This manager is who I need because he's been through it. Very seldom do you stay with your team. Do you look around and go, well, you guys took us from nowhere to here. That's an incredible spread. I believe in you and I'm staying with you, right? I mean, when Conor gets ready to go over and to box, this was a big deal because that was the time when he could have made the switch and kept peace in the family. Conor could have kept his managers and his trainers and his gym. He could have kept them all and gone over and did something totally different on a one-off. New manager, new trainer, new gym, new workout partner, and say, well, you know, but it's box. I'm going to go over here and box, and I'll come back and beat you guys. He could have done that and returned seamlessly. Now, there might have been some feelings hurt, but he could have done that real easily, and he didn't do it. He went to an area that he knew nothing about. The boxing model is totally different from the MMA model. Totally different. From a business standpoint, I'm not talking about the sport itself. The Queensberry rules versus the unified rules of MMA. I'm not talking about that. I could, but I'm not. The business side of it is so vastly different. He stuck with the same people. That's awesome. Conor's had some real ups. He's had some real downs. There's Coach Kavanaugh. There's Audie. There's Roddy. There's SBG. In all of it. It is easily the coolest thing that he has ever done. It is easily the one example that Conor has made, doesn't talk about it, doesn't need credit. Just watch what I do. Monkey see, monkey do. It's the one thing McGregor's done that you can take all these young guys and you could teach them one thing, man. It wasn't the walk. It wasn't the talk. It wasn't the sunglasses. It wasn't the tattoos. It wasn't the suits. It was that right there. That's the thing. So when Conor comes over to the Ultimate Fighter and he says, yeah, man, I'll get on a plane. I'll leave my country. I'll come where I'll do this. I mean, it's a big commitment. It really is. You're trying to train, you're trying to get better, plus what Conor's got going on, which is an injury he's trying to rebound from, trying to get his paperwork in line so he can get back in USADA to get his clock started. Man, he's up against it, and he's still going to uproot and come out here? Sure. But I got a couple of guys who are counting on me. Whatever their backstory is, but I guarantee it's something like this. I got a couple of guys who look up to me. A couple of guys who are making some real sacrifices in life right now. But they're doing it emulating me. And I know it. And I didn't ask them to. And they didn't talk to me about it ahead of time. But I'm a leader in the gym. I remember being a young guy. I remember looking up to somebody. And when I looked up to somebody and they didn't care about me, it hurt. But when I looked up to them and they knew and they looked out for me, it's a big deal. So Conor brings these two guys. He says, I'll do it. I got to bring these two guys. It was above board. It's exactly what he should have done. Now, the two other guys that got pushed, right? The two other guys that got pushed, Dana's already spoke about it. Dana said, whoa, I know exactly who these two guys are. I just want you guys to hear this. I want you guys to hear that there is another side, which Dana said, whoa. These aren't just two guys that get taken to the airport and we don't, I know exactly who they are. Our managers know exactly who they are. We will find opportunities for these guys. They don't get slighted. Things change all the time. I don't go burn. Young guy that trained hard and had an opportunity. I just take it from him and give him nothing. And he's telling the truth. That's exactly the history the organization has. So that's the story, but I'm just wondering what you guys think of it. I mean, what do you think? Should have we been let in on that? I don't know that when Dana answered the question, he knew that he was resolving a debate. I don't know that he knew these two had this back and forth. Should have we been given that information? Were we owed that information? Should have that stayed between them? But moreover, Danny's trying to get recognition to his two guys that got the boot. That's the right thing to do. Dana White answered a question honestly and said, I know who these two guys were, and I'm going to take care of them. And Conor McGregor tries to bring two guys in to show him a level of loyalty, give them a training environment and an opportunity because they've been doing everything right back home. Just sounds to me that this is one of those situations where everybody did what they were supposed to do.